Good morning to you. Happy Sunday. Hope you're relaxing. Well, it's almost time to get this thing up in the air, sorta. What I'm doing now is I wasn't able to paint anything underneath it, obviously, because it was on the ground pretty much, and I'm not that skinny to fit underneath it and paint it. So I've just attached some chains with the tractor right above the midpoint and just pretty much dead lifted it. It was a little tricky because as I was doing this with the bucket, it wanted to pull the tower this direction, so I had to lift it, scoot forward, lift it, scoot forward to kind of keep it in center line. Now, I'm going to paint the rest of it as I can, and then we're going to get ready to finish this thing up. Now, when I was in town yesterday grabbing the turnbuckles to finish up the tensioning system, Bianca hopped on the backhoe, did the measuring and the mass like I said earlier, and we got the holes dug. So the main thing is, I think these need to be a little deeper, but we're going to put the pile or the 12-inch diameter by 4-foot casting down here at about 45 degrees to the angle the cable's coming, right? So we need the cable to be perpendicular to the pile that's in the ground. That's the goal anyway. So we're going to have one here, one over here, and then the other one's going to be in front here somewhere. Now, it seems a little backwards to what you would think, you know, point to point, but we believe because of the hinge direction being like this, that we should have two wires over here pulling opposite the hinge. That way it's the strongest. So this is the paint I started using. It's Rust-Oleum Berry Pink gloss. So I was painting it, saw the rust, didn't feel like sanding it. Was back at the store to get more and found this stuff. Stops rust, and it's almost the exact same color. This one's poppy pink, the other one's berry pink, whatever. Barely a difference between two colors. But this one you can spray directly on lightly rusted stuff, which is what this tower is. It's cost me about 20 bucks in paint so far, which I think is pretty reasonable, I suppose, for, you know, 45-foot a tower.
So the length of the cables needs to be 55 feet. But we are cutting it at 60 to allow some space for the bend at the ends. And we also have some extra wiggle room because of the turnbuckles. I believe they are like 2 feet or something. This cable is not easy to cut.
No. Plan B.
Plan B.
Yeah.
What's plan B?
Cut-off saw.
Cut-off saw. Okay. Well, I'll get back to you when we get this cut. Okay, let's try with this. Nope. Not gonna go with this one either. Okay, so plan C finally worked. Cut off wheel and the generator, and then we just cut it off. Oh, I need to look where. And this side is the yellow.
one of the pile holes dug. It's about 4+ feet deep or so. Maybe closer to 5. It's pretty much the maximum the backhoe can be. So if we were to look at a bird's eye view, it would be 120 degrees rotated from the very tip of the triangle facing the mountain. We are going to take the 400-pound pile and lay it in like this, so that the angle of it is approximately 45 degrees, and then the wire will come straight down and attach to it. Now we're sitting here thinking, what should we do to attach everything? We are thinking that we're going to use the rebar that's already built in to these piles. Now, in the earlier video when we were casting the base for the wind tower, we crossed these pieces of rebar and then put a chain basically right here, and it lifted with no problem. The thing we're a little worried about, of course, is the force of the tower vibrating, pulling the rebar or what have you. But we came up with a pretty good solution, I believe. Now, these are actually really close to the concrete, just under soil like this one is. What we're going to do is we're going to take the turnbuckle, slip it, there's a black widow web here, it's super thick. Sorry. We're going to take the turnbuckle, slip it over the piece of rebar all the way up to the edge. Then we're going to take a post hole pounder and bend that thing cold over the turnbuckle. Then we're going to use the other piece of rebar and bend that over the one that we just bent, acting as sort of a stop, like starting to tie your shoes kind of thing. And that's the plan. One of the scariest things that is going to happen is deadlifting the tower into position, okay? It's now 45 feet long, and it has a 10-pound motor on top. So essentially it's a 10-pound lever over a 40-foot fulcrum, basically, right? Or a 45-foot lever. So it might be a lot heavier than expected. So the plan is, and we've been going over a lot of different ways, and there are billions of ways to do things, right? Is we built what's called a cripple jack. Let me back up over here and get that. This is a cripple jack, okay? And this right here is going to hold the tower. So as the tower is lifted up, we're going to raise this thing up and put that little U shape right underneath the tower like this. And then these legs will be in the ground of the sand. And so as this thing is slowly tilting up, we're gonna take it and stab it underneath there to hold it like a jack, right? Then we're going to, probably with the backhoe, get under here and just lift it more, and then slide the cripple jack forward, and then lift it a little more, and then slide the cripple jack forward. And then we're going to reach a point where the cripple jack will not be able to do anything. I believe, after putting the test segment of the tower up, that we will be able to use the 6-foot solid steel bar inserted in here, basically over like this, so that as I push down, it would be forcing this direction. And I think that if we do that, when the tower is, 45 degrees or whatever, with all of us on it, we should be able to slam the tower into place. I shouldn't use the word slam. Gently place the tower into an upright position. It's fully painted. The underbelly is painted. We're pretty much good to go. All we're waiting on now is the holes being dug, the piles dropped in the ground, and backfilled on top. We are almost here. I am hoping that today, by end of day, by dark, we might be able to actually get this tower up in the air. Alright, well, here is the cable attached to one of the clips on the collar. We use 3 cable clips, tightened down an incredible amount, as much force as you can muster. Also, these here zoom in here. The safety wire is so that this hopefully does not back out, or if it does, is attached to this clip in the event of a disconnect. It's always hard to find stuff later, right? We've also wrapped the end in a little bit of tape just to help with the fraying that occurs over time. Have it wrapped around the saddle here in 3 places. All of the cables are measured and cut, and we are ready to get this thing in the air. Bianca is over there digging the last hole for the piers for the anchors. Then we need to deadlift the piers, drop them in the hole, manipulate them so they're at 45 degrees-ish, backfill over them, and then get this thing up. She didn't even have Tonka toys when she was a kid. Bianca's putting the backhoe away. That's good to go. Another deep hole. You know what's awesome is the sand's natural falling almost makes a perfect 45-degree back for the pier to lean against. So that's very interesting. Now it's time to go grab the 400-pound columns and drop them in the hole. We are almost there.
You can bend it.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
More?
Okay, that's good.
All right.
Now you can take that bar. Well, if you straighten it, you can go as far down as you can and then just bend it over. Follow me?
Yeah, I do.
Try that. No,
Other way.
you'll break that end.
Oh, with the bar. Like this?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I need to straighten it all the way out.
Straighten it out. Yeah.
Push with your leg or something. Thank you. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Now all the way down, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go this direction, okay?
No.
Just across?
Go just across.
All right.
Okay, pull it up about that much.
Shit. Locked on there.
Twist. Did such a good job.
Okay, there.
A little more.
I see it clears it.
Okay, now. Go. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now I was going to take this one and bend it back over.
No.
No? Why not?
What for?
I don't know, man. Don't you ever double knot your shoes when you tie them?
Yeah, I do. Well, go ahead. Go for it.
Oh,
Not a
they
bad
do
idea.
have.
Not
They
a bad
do
idea.
have laces.
Like about there?
Yeah.
I would.
A little more?
Okay, pound this one down a little bit
All right.
if you can.
Watch your eyeballs.
See if you can get it to do this.
No, I'm not that strong.
You don't have to. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now go over the top.
Whoa. Shit. Right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here goes nothing.
Oh, look out. You got it, Dad?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. Okay.
I think this thing might have been on the frame the whole time it was falling because I was falling with it.
Now you can roll it over.
And complete it.
Just roll it over and then go this way.
Yep. Watch your foot, B. It's 400-pound weight you don't want to drop on you.
Ivory back
You
there.
might have some cutting to do on this video.
Whatever. Okay, roll it down. Okay, dude, that ain't going anywhere. about it?
I can move it.
Oh, ha ha ha.
It's okay, babe. Hopefully you won't get to tighten that much.
Go show a close-up of the, camera girl is going to show a close-up of the connection point on top of the pier there to show you how we have it tied in.
I'm just the camera girl, huh? Oh, here it is. I was looking for it. Come on, phone. There we go. And then it goes around, and I'm too short to see it, and it goes over here. There's a bank right there on your left wheel, left front wheel. You're gonna have to back up and come closer to this way. You need to face the check over here. We should be able to lay it right there and roll it. Roll it? Yeah.
Not a bad idea. Drop it, we'll roll it.
We'll just see how close I get to flipping it.
To flipping it?
Yeah.
Flipping the tractor?
Yeah. Watch yourself.
You watch yourself. Not bad, actually.
It is a little scary, but good idea, Dad. And then I'll lower that one to give me a little more weight on the other side.
Lower this one a little bit more.
What? That's not what I would do. I'm using it as a tail, like a cat. No, I know. There's different ways of doing the same thing. I don't even feel
going to unhook it and lay it 45 degrees like that.
The other thing we need to do is spin it.
Oh.
Which
And
way?
spin it.
Clockwise.
Huh?
Clockwise.
I know. How many degrees?
Probably it looks like about 180.
Mm-hmm.
God, really?
Yep, because you see how it's going that way? You want this thing to go that way.
Guess what? I will be spinning it in the air.
Okay.
Don't you think it's a better idea?
That's a good idea, Dan. Lift it up and then we can...
Yeah, like, I don't feel like trying to manipulate 400 pounds, dude. I've already done
Well,
that
we
enough.
were spinning the ones for the tower, you know, by hand, but...
Yeah, that was too much also. Alright.
Now, can you come forward a little bit so you can get a straight pull? Good.
Not more! That's good! Lower it!
Good.
Why lift 400 pounds when a tractor can do it without blinking?
But then you don't got the muscles!
No, dude. That was me when I was young, not old and decrepit.
I didn't marry an old and decrepit husband.
You're right, I used to not be. Okay, so just in that, right?
Yep.
Timber!
I guess the hole was a little bit too big because it should be a couple feet up.
Do I need to drag it this way?
No.
No.
I can. It's not a problem. The backhoe's right there.
The cable's just going to be long and we can just cut it again
Okay.
to be the right size.
Alright, there we go,
We'll
people.
just have a divot in the ground where the cable comes out.
Well, it's been another probably 45 minutes or so. Not gonna make the sundown wishful thinking deadline. However, we have these tied in. Kind of went and made a little curly cue with them. We're gonna come back and buzz this off right here with the grinder. And then it'll be nice and free to act as an anchor. These things are just annoying to manipulate. So it's also getting cold. We're gonna call it a night. Wake up in the morning for the high stress portion and knock this tower out. That's all I have for this evening. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. See you next time.